Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Naheed Oberfeld, your success strategist, and we are moving on to video 2. But before we do that, if you haven't yet had an opportunity to really tap on video 1, which is all about increasing your self-worth, because that is tied to your net worth, I recommend that you take some time, go back and go listen and tap along that video. Because that's where you're going to start uncovering where these old belief systems really originated from. And you're going to start seeing just how much they've been holding you back in more than just your money, in all different areas of your life. But today, the journey is continuing and we're moving on to another very important topic. And that is, what do I need to let go of in order to move forward? Take a moment and really think about that. This is an important question that we rarely ask ourselves. What old story do I keep repeating to myself that keeps me from moving forward? Because once you move forward, you gotta be willing to let go of the past. And this is a question that most of us rarely ask ourselves, including coaches. It's something important that gets missed. So today, what I'm going to talk about is I am going to be ready to let go of the fear of failure. So many of us have our fears of failure stuck in our old stories. And what we don't realize is that this old story we repeat over and over again, and it keeps us from really making big moves in our lives. So let's get right down to it, and we're going to start tapping at the karate chop point. So every time I think about my fear of failure, there's a part of me that's not yet ready to let go of it. It protects me. It keeps me from failing again. Sure, it keeps me from being successful too. And I'm holding on to all these emotions of sadness, disappointment, and even heartache because I'm too afraid to really allow myself to be successful. And I choose to love and accept all these inner conflicts. Every time I think about my past fears of failure, it's become a very comfortable and convenient part of my story. But just maybe, I'm ready to let go of it today and allow myself to dream of big success. I'm holding on to all this emotion as disappointment, heartache, sadness, because I know I'm holding myself back. And I choose to love and accept all this inner conflict inside of me. One last time. My story, fear of failure. Who do I think I am, wanting to be a big success? It never worked out in the past. What makes me think it's gonna happen again? I cannot let go of this old story. It protects me. It keeps me from fear, failure, and disappointment. And I'm holding on to it. And I choose to love and accept myself. Let's go to the top of the head. Every time I think about my past fears of failure, they just didn't work out. Holding on to all this fear of failure in every cell of my body. Letting go of my fear of failure will mean I really have to trust myself. I'm not ready to do that. It never worked out in the past. Holding on to all this emotion inside of me. Feeling sad because I never took the big steps. Disappointment and heartache for all those failures in the past. That's keeping me from taking my life to the next level. Not yet ready to let go. This old story of mine keeps me from more disappointment and heartache. I'd like you to take a moment and stop over here. As we were tapping, you most likely found that there were certain memories of previous events, previous heartaches and failures that came up. So take a moment and write those down. And I invite you to include that in your tapping. And let's just kind of go with it right now. Top of the head, all these memories of past failures. What I learned is what? What did you learn from these events and incidences? I'd like you to fill in the blank. Do it again. All these memories from past failures. The message is that I'm what? I'm holding on to this belief that I am what? It's part of me that continues to feel like a failure every time I think about this past incident. The message is, I will never succeed. People who fail do not deserve success. Every time I think about my past incidents, I'm not yet ready to let go of them. They protect me from more and more failure and heartache. Holding on to all this judgment that I have towards myself. Because I failed. I failed in the past, and there's a big part of me that believes I'm going to fail again. All right, so take a moment. Take a few deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And one last time, in through your nose and out through your mouth. So these are the emotions and the belief systems that are stuck in your subconscious that are coming up to the surface and ready to be released. Do this tapping every single day, especially if you found today's video to be particularly resonant with you and emotional with you. That means there's stuff in there that needs to be cleared. So take the time and listen to this tapping daily if you can. So thank you very much again for joining me on video 2. I look forward to seeing you next week for video number 3.